name should be something like that, with an underscore spec.rb. The same thing will happen with a view, with a model, with a helper, and so on and so on. While for feature tests, the proper naming is a bit ambiguous. The name that should be given should be the name of the user story they describe. So, for example, here there is a search form. So there could be two different feature tests, each one with its own scenarios. The first one is autocomplete.feature. It will probably describe things like how the system will interact with the user, giving some parameters, and how should the autocomplete work. While the second one is the validation.feature. You can understand that for this example, you probably should check various scenarios where the user is giving inappropriate input, meaning that the system should not allow him to do something like that. Also, divisioning is another issue that you should probably cover. Spec tests follow the namespace of what they describe. So if I had a view named new.html.erb under searches, the appropriate test should be set in your test set as new HTML erb spec.rb under searches again. While feature tests, we try to group them depending on the conceptual group they cover. For example, the previous two ones for search form are grouped under search. So in this way, it will be easier for someone to understand what they do. It will be easier to find what action they describe, and it will be easier to find them in generally if they want to run the appropriate tests that refer to the change he have made. So, what are the actual advantages of having such a big test set? Well, each line of tests, at least for us, it's not needed to be for everyone. Each line of tests give us the possibility of having the code that is more readable, that is more solid, and each test actually explains how the code should behave or what it does. Also, another thing that we needed in eTravel SA is that we had a lot of new members. So we saw that new members started reading the tests, running the tests, and working from day one, because we had a lot of tests that if they did something wrong, if they broke the way the system should behave, the test will check that, and the test police, you may say, will get them, and we will know whether something went wrong or not. Also, ease of refactoring is not actually correct. Probably should be that is absolutely needed to go on refactoring. We can't even think of refactoring something that doesn't have tests. We'll probably be terrified if we change something and nothing will break. So we're probably building tests for the future. So in the future, when we'll try to refactor something, rewrite it, or change something in that, the test will tell us if we are wrong or right. While the best part of that are the safer releases part. When you're having so many tests that you can run before going live, before deploying to production, you probably know a lot of, way before, if you could and should go on production, or something went wrong, so fix that and then go on production. So, okay, apart from that, obviously, so many tests should probably have a flow. So, what is the exact problem of having so many tests? Your enemy is actually time. You need a lot of time to run all the tests, because 45,000 tests are not that small number. For now, we have actually made it to minimize that to 3 hours. I say minimize because in the past it was about 12 hours. We have even reached that number. So you need a lot of time to run them. While also maintenance is also the time needed to maintain all these tests is also a little problem, because we have a lot of problems when someone changes a value in our mocked models or the mock data we have, because you want to write, for example, a new test that required that the value was from, I don't know, 35 to 45, meaning that a lot of tests that asserted that the original value was 35 to break. Or either, I don't know, a new translation was added, breaking another assertion. So we have a lot of tests breaking for a kind of dumb reasons. Also, the worst part of that is, of writing tests, is that 1 hour of coding should easily be translated 2 hours of testing, or 3 hours of testing, or 4 hours of testing. It depends on what you have written and what you want to test. So when we are actually giving a deadline, we are giving more time to our original estimation, so that we could cover all the needed tests that have to be written or updated. So another question we used to have is that, okay, I have 45,000 tests, so probably before I go live, I could run them and check that everything is okay, so I could easily go to production, I would close my eyes, and I would suppose that everything works as expected. Well, no. Having all these tests may also minimize the possibility of having a problem when going on production, but it doesn't erase it. So having all these tests and running them it will not do it. Why we may have a problem? Because there are a lot of unexpected external factors. For example, for us, we could easily have a problem because a new translation have been added, or an old one was updated and the HTML format is broken. So we have to fix that and then either roll back or again go back to production. Also, it is very difficult to simulate the development environment with our production environment. Probably you will not be able to simulate it exactly because of I don't know, different casting, load balancer behaving differently on production, having a content delivery network that you didn't have in your development. So a lot of factors could easily mean not going live, and something breaking. Also, you could easily have some holes, if you may say, in your initial specs, some behaviors that no one ever predicted, but once you went to production, the users did something that you didn't expect, so the system is broken for some reason. Also, well, finally, the test you may have can't check what they don't know. So, if the tester, you as whoever, hasn't added some special scenario, the test will never know, they will never check that, and something could easily slip out. Okay, as I said before, we need right now, we need about 3 hours to run something, and after that runs and everything is okay, then go to deploy to production. There are a lot of other ways to fix that. Where firstly, we have installed CI server. CI server is a special system that you can install and use it by defining specific times during the day, and they will decide to run at that hour and check that before you go to your office, before you have your first cup of tea or coffee, that everything is okay, and they will notify you which tests are breaking or if they are not, by running all your branches, all your different projects. Also, by proper division, something we have discussed before, you can run only the tests that you need. If I had made the change in the search form, I will easily go to the search folder and running all the features there and see if I have broken something or not. While we use, at least we, guard and Spock as a combination while developing these tests. As I said before, they will run each time you have made a change by running all the proper tests that you need. Okay. Now, when not to write test. This is probably the one slide that was really difficult for me. I didn't know a reason why not to write test. But there are a couple of those. For example, don't write tests to test something that you haven't even made it to code. If you have a special case that your system is not designed to cover, don't use tests to cover that special case and see that, just I don't know, assert that your system will break if that case happens. Also, Also, try not to write duplicates of the test you have, either by giving a different name or by asserting a different value, which is exactly the same as the previous test. Okay. Apart from writing all 45,000 tests, we probably make a lot of mistakes in the past. We try to learn from them. We made a lot of them, so we'll try to learn a lot of that. So at first, at least I wrote a lot of many feature tests that they actually didn't do something that spec tests couldn't do. For example, they tested that a special field, while the page was rendered, has a proper value, or that another element in the page was visible or not requiring any JavaScript to do that. So we tried to move all that feature tests to spec tests and use spec tests for unit testing and feature tests for integration testing. So each time we do a change, we make a change on different view or controller, we first run all the unit tests that require that, all the spec tests, and then we run all the feature tests that is actually the bootstrap that if something went wrong and broke the communication and the consistency of the site, they will notify us and we will know about that. Also, as I said before, we have a lot of duplicates. We tested the same thing over and over again, either because we didn't know we had a test like that, or because the tests wasn't clear enough to justify that we had a test like that. Also, we used to use only Selenium WebDriver. It actually was really helpful, but it required a lot of time to boot, and as the test set was increased, the time needed was increased as well. So we tried to move from Selenium WebDriver to Capybara WebKit. That minimized the time a lot, but the problem was that we aren't able to move all the tests to Capybara WebKit. So we have about 90–95% of those in Capybara and another 5% max in Selenium WebDriver. Finally, we are using a lot of VCR recordings. It really did the job done. It mocked all the data we needed for our tests. But updating it and maintaining it was really trouble. It required a lot of time, which probably didn't have. So we tried to move to Factory, and we're really happy about that. We haven't made it to move all our cassettes to that, but across the time we put in refactoring, that is a part of it. So, a couple of things that we look into the future, things that we would like to do, is to actually run the tests in parallel on the CI server. We have made it to run them only locally, but we would like to do that in our CI server again. Also, we would like to add more agents to the CI server that will give us the possibility of running different configurations at the same time. That also will minimize the time we will need to run all the tests, so we'll be more flexible on doing more and more changes. As I said before, we are in the middle of cleaning up code and refactoring. So we would like to finish with that, move all the VCR cassettes to FactoryGirl, move all the feature tests from WebKit to Capybara, move all the feature tests that can be RSpec tests to RSpec tests. And finally, we would like to have more coverage. Right now, even if we have 45,000 tests, I can't say that we have 100% coverage. We have, if I may say, it will be about 80%, 85%. So, to wrap it up, my suggestion to you, and if you like it, you can have it. Test, and test some more. Test as much as possible. Based on what Steve said, don't lose your creativity, but be consistent. Try not to break stuff, and know when you break stuff. It's actually an investment that it will probably pay up in the future. Use tests as not a panagia. As I said before, tests will not provide 100% guarantee that if you go to production, nothing will break. Also, try to write tests, write specs for unit testing and feature tests for functional tests, for yeah, I forgot about that. Okay. And finally, try to set a pattern, try to set a structure, and follow that. It will probably reward you, but you have to keep it given a pattern, and that will help your colleagues follow you in that. So, thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Bill. Lightning talk speakers, please report backstage, and let's take some questions for Bill. Here. In the front.
Okay, hi, I'm Clemens from Vienna. I've actually got two questions. The first question is I didn't really get how do you replace VCR cassettes by FactoryGo? Because for me they're two totally different things.
It actually requires a lot of time. Sorry, I wouldn't hear you. So I can. It requires a lot of time. Actually, right now we're in the middle of that. We changed our models. So while changing the models, we actually write appropriate factories that work as an example of those. I don't know if I really answered your question.
My question is actually, VCR is an HTTP cache, so what we use it for is to cache like API queries and stuff like that. So how would you replace that by FactoryGo?
Yeah, we create examples that actually is the sample that we expect to be returned from the API. So we actually mock the request, we start the request, and we return the JSON being constructed from the factory. Okay?
And my second question is, you're using continuous integration. Do you also use continuous deployment, or how does your deployment work?
Sorry, maybe, yeah, I have to get closer to the microphone, that's it. I was wondering how you do deployment, if you also deploy through your CI server, or if you do it manually.
It's really, right now, we're deploying by hand. There's actually the possibility of using the CI server. It has such a functionality. We haven't been able to make advantage of that, but it's actually something that we would like to do in the future. It definitely is something that you will go to use. They run the tests, you know they are working. You have even tried it by hand, and you can have it deploy in production, and afterwards you can just sit back and look at the logs and know that you're okay. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, there we have another question.
Hi. Great talk, thanks.
I can hear you.
My question is, what techniques do you use to parallel your tests? What techniques do you use to parallel your tests? Maybe tools or some gems or something like that?
If I got your question correctly. Right now, we're writing all the tests by hand. We don't have a special tool about that. But
No. About parallelism. Parallelism. About how you parallel your tests.
I'm sorry. We use parallel tests. It is a gem. You can easily use that. You can easily run either spec tests or feature tests if you want to divide them or run them all together. It actually creates as much processes as your computer can create and divides all the tests in so many groups and run them all together. For example, for us, if you have 6 processes, divide 3 hours with 6, and you will get that it will easily go down to 20-25 minutes.
Okay. Any other question?
Hello. I want here.
Oh, there.
Over there? At the top.
I want to know how many web apps are you testing right now?
How many?
Web apps. You show the clients there. I suppose that you test multiple applications, right?
How many web apps?
Yeah. We have one web app. It actually covers the layout. It's only for the front end, but it covers all our products, all the sites you can see. So it's actually one, but as you have seen, it has many steps and many legs that you have to cover.
Okay. I have that problem too, where I work. We split that clients and we build a gem for reuse the code. Why don't you do that? I have 3,000 tests for clients for the Legos that you are talking about.
Didn't exactly get that.
Why don't you split your tests building a gem to reuse the code?
Okay. We're not exactly correct about that. We try to do the best of it. It probably isn't the best thing to do. It works for our needs, and we're looking for many ways of doing it even better. Splitting it, I don't know if I've even considered about that, but could probably work. We're constantly deleting tests if they are not needed, and if we can split it and make it rerun over and over for everything, and if it covers our needs, then we will do it.
Okay.
So
this was the last question.
yes, thank you very much, Bill.
Thank you very much. Okay, when I will get the gong. I mean, I want to play with it.
Well, you're lucky because it's time for the lightning talks.
Okay, I'm gonna get it.
Go get it. You know the drill by now. Lightning talks, fast track, 5 minutes each. Be creative, be spontaneous, and if you were over 5 minutes, the gong, Panos with the gong will be very happy, more than happy to remind you.
No. First the girls, then the gong.
Yes. Well, the first one is not really a lightning talk. It's just a short message from the Rails girls. Yeah, more girls on stage. Please welcome them.
I will hit it anyway.
And then we will continue with Panagiotis Papadomitsos, Julian Fischer, Yorick Peterse, Javier Gonel, and Nicolas Sanguinetti. Thank you.
Hi everyone. My name is Karen. I represent Rails Girls in the Netherlands. Thank you. And this is Debbie. She represents Rails Girls in Berlin. And we just wanted to pop on stage real quick and share something about Rails Girls. For those of you who don't know what Rails Girls is, we are a global organization dedicated to getting more people into programming. We do this by organizing one-day workshops where people can program their first small app and kind of get a feel of what programming is like and whether it's something that they would enjoy. So Debbie actually was a participant in one of these workshops, and she wants to say something.
Hey everyone, my name is Debbie, and I started learning Ruby on Rails with Rails Girls Berlin over a year now. And just on behalf of the whole learning community, I want to use this opportunity on stage to say a big thank you to everyone out there that has been giving time and energy to coach, support, help, organize, donate, or sponsor any Rails Girls event or project group around the world.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. And should you want to know how to get involved in Rails Girls by doing whatever, as Debbie said, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done, coaching, sponsoring, organizing events, etc. Just come talk to us. You know what we look like now, so please, we hope to talk to you soon. Bye.
Ring the gong. He's ready.
He's not ready yet.
You are ready.
Should I go and ring a gong for Vasilis as well?
You know, if you can't get this running in 5 minutes, we'll hit the gong for you. Hey.
Hey. Hello, everyone. I'm Panos. I do infrastructure at Backsense.
Okay.
And today I'm going to talk to you about automating infrastructure, which is a kind of a big issue right now. There's a big paradigm shift in infrastructure. We, as operations, are more relevant than ever because data is getting big, right? Big data. The most well-known buzzword right now in Silicon Valley. So data has been getting big. Servers are right now counting into hundreds, and operational complexity, service dependencies, and stuff like that is getting more and more bigger, or something like that. So, please work. Okay. Operations engineers, though, haven't been increasing in well, you know, companies like EuRuKo or Etsy have like, or Facebook has like a team of 100 engineers, though they have like thousands of servers. How can this happen? There are like, oh my God, a lot of infrastructure to manage. So why is this happening? How can they do it? Is it some kind of wizardry? No. What they're using is called infrastructure automation. There are a number of tools like Puppet and the Chef engine, and more recently, 5 years now, Chef. I love Chef. I love it so much. I've devoted the last year of my life building things around it. What this software does is it uses Ruby DSL, pure Ruby, actual Ruby, not half-assed Ruby like Puppet, although that has changed a bit, but it's real Ruby, like most of you know and love. It uses Ruby to describe how your services, how your infrastructure wants to work. So you describe stuff like create this directory and start this service, install this package, and all this kind of stuff just happens automatically on the servers you want to run it. And well, that's about it. That's the essence of it, that it helps you automate stuff using a language that you already understand. There's some jargon here, cookbooks, recipes, attributes, etc., etc. I'm not going to go in depth with that because I only have like 5 minutes. But this is how it looks like. This code installs a package. This actually is a code for a monitoring system called Sensu. It actually creates some directories, installs some packages, and some package dependencies. You can see it's pure Ruby, right? What is important for you here as developers, though, is that you have to understand that you can use Chef in coordination with your operations guy to actually replicate an exact replica of your production environment using the services in the way that you configure them in production. You can use it in your Mac OS laptop or in your Linux laptop. And there's software, okay, there's some name dropping here. There's software that does that actually. It's called Vagrant. Mitchell Hashimoto has written Vagrant. It's awesome. It currently not only supports VirtualBox, but a lot of other providers like AWS, and people are using it to actually provision production servers, not only for deployment. And Vagabond, which is relatively new, it uses Linux containers. It's very fast, and you can use it for testing. You can test what you write in Chef code using standard tools, well, adapted tools for Chef, like Chef Spec for specking, Minitest, which is a test suite that runs after you run your Chef scripts on your node. And the most important tool right now, it's Test Kitchen, is let's say a test harness that groups a set of tools like Chef Minitest and Food Critic and a whole ecosystem of tools that Chef coders use, and helps you test completely your whole deployment, from validating cookbooks to testing if the service that you want installed in your VirtualBox or in your server actually works. You can complement your setup with Chef with other tools like Berg Self that Jamie Windsor has written from Riot Games. Many of you may know League of Legends. The guys there are doing some excellent work in server automation. There's Knives Pork that can help you with large groups of chefs who are writing cookbooks, Knives and Toku for notification, and a lot of other tools. There's a whole ecosystem built around Chef, and I cannot stress this enough. This is Ruby we're talking about. It's not some kind of weird half Ruby, half something else. It's valid Ruby code that you can run, that you can test, that you must start using right now. From today, you have to start. That's about it. This is just filler. Don't fear your infrastructure. Trust the community. You can start testing today. And this is as a last request. We want to start a community right now. So come find me. Come find me after the talk.
Hello, everybody. Shouldn't be there too close. I think there's a remote control missing. Because I have. Thank you. Yeah, so this short talk is about how to build your own platform as a service. Why is that interesting? In the past years, Amazon, AWS pretty much completely changed the world we perceive virtual servers and how we provision them, mostly now using an API. So it was a good idea to even carve that up into smaller pieces and build something such as EuRuKo, Platform as a Service. So in the last years, more and more infrastructure as a service technologies have become open source, for example, OpenStack. So in my opinion, more and more infrastructure as a service providers will come up, and hence it's very likely that more platform as a service providers will come up, which is good, I think. So the question could be, how can I build my own platform as a service? One of the open source possibilities to do that is Cloud Foundry, which is pretty interesting because it's mostly written in Ruby. So let's have a short look at it. So usually you have hardware and you run infrastructure as a service on top of it. Could be VMware, could be OpenStack, CloudStack, you name it. And then you put a platform as a service on the top to even carve resources up more, even in finer and smaller pieces, and also, provisioning services and not only VMs. So in Cloud Foundry, this looks like this. You got the hardware layer, the infrastructure, the service layer, which is actually up to you to choose. It's Cloud Foundry is agnostic of infrastructure as a service, so you could use OpenStack or even Amazon if you want to. Although, what's the point then? However, Cloud Foundry itself comes with a small layer that's called the outer shell, which is actually not that small, but still it's a technology called BOSH that allows you to set up the whole platform as a service, and you can configure it how big it's going to be. So you can start with, let's say, 200 gigs of RAM, and then change it and say, I want to have another 10 or 20 DAs executing my application instances, and you can just scale it on demand. And then the inner shell is the actual platform as a service layer. So it's provisioning your apps, it's executing build packs, it's staging your app, it's deploying your app, it's binding services. And on the top of that, you're communicating with a command line tool or a IDE plugin. So as I said, in Cloud Foundry it might look like that. You have VMware, BOSH, Cloud Foundry, and Eclipse plugin. So to think about Cloud Foundry, what are the good things about Cloud Foundry? So it's open source. It's mostly written by Pivotal, and Pivotal is actually a new founded company that includes part of VMware, parts of EMC, and parts of Pivotal Labs. There are I think there are like 40 people working on Cloud Foundry at the moment. The MIT license gives you very much freedom to use it. As I said, it's mostly written in Ruby. You can run it on any infrastructure as a service. In the worst case, there's no cloud provider interface, a class with like 8 methods you have to implement to be able to deploy Cloud Foundry on your infrastructure as a service. To be mentioned is that Cloud Foundry now in version 2 supports EuRuKo build packs, so any Cloud Foundry setup also supports EuRuKo build packs. There might be minor changes needed, but we've just tested it using the PHP build pack, just worked fine. So the music is in the services, I guess. That means you might want to start with a out-of-the-box version of Cloud Foundry, but then adapt it to your company's needs. So whether you want to put it into a single VM or you want to roll it out in your large data center, you'll surely want to somehow add your services. So be free to do that. The architecture allows you to do that. By the way, the architecture looks like this. Talk is sadly not long enough to go into details. So you got a route. Oh, done. Give it a try.
You kind of overdid it this time. Okay.
Thank you.
There you go.
So, first off question, who here considers themselves to be crazy or does crazy things? Not me included. So no liars today. My little chat is kind of connected to Steve's talk about being irresponsible and sometimes being responsible as well. Other people think I'm kind of crazy too. There's this quote from a guy on IC who said, do you just wake up in the morning and think, what kind of weird shit can I do today? I do. And that's part of the programming for me is we have lots of rules, lots of checks to keep people from doing bad things, like tests to ensure they don't break something without knowing it. There's documentation guidelines and all kinds of code-related things we follow in order to stick to a pattern. But at the same time, those regulations, they kind of limit us from what we can do. Because as Steve said, basically what Steve said along those lines, that if you want to be truly creative, you should just go like full force into it. To give an example, we had a problem at work that we had a bunch of projects written by external companies. These projects were written in Java, Perl, Python, and C, and we had to ship them somehow. We did that using Ruby gems, and we had to come up with a way so we can install this stuff or compile it upon installation. And the way we did that, it is by kind of telling Ruby gems that we are building a C extension, which we're actually not doing. But what RubyGem sees, it sees a file, it runs it, and depending on the file name, you can just do whatever you want. In our case, if you use a rake file, you have complete freedom. If you use the more common file name called xconf.rb, Ruby imposes some requirements that didn't really meet our needs. But what that leads to is that upon installing a gem, it will actually compile some Perl stuff in the local directory, and so we can use it. Now, this isn't necessarily the most gracious thing you can do, at least I think, and I probably have a slightly twisted sense of that. But it's certainly something a lot of people frown upon and be like, I'm not sure if I would do that. But it's one of those cases where if you would stick to the rules and say, like, no, we ship this as Linux distribution specific packages, or we just put in a README 5 lines saying, like, install this, run that, go figure it out yourself, nobody would use it. So this is one of those cases where being slightly crazy, and in my case being particularly evil as well, it kind of gets you to things you'd normally not get to. So my conclusion or statement is be crazy, don't go full retard, and be happy, especially the latter. Thank you.
Come on, 5 minutes. Set. It's our very own volunteer.
Okay, time's up. Okay, so I guess Steve said a lot about this, that you have to go to other languages talks and learn and, of course, help them. So feel free to help in the next EuroPython or PyCon that you go to. Okay, so let's talk about Python, and I hope that there's no problem about it here. The first thing you are going to learn is something that not a lot of Python developers know. That is, the Python name doesn't come from the snake. It comes from the Monty Python flying circus. So that's why we don't use foo and bar, and we use spam and eggs in all the documentation. And of course, you can learn to fly. If you want to learn to fly, you just search for XKCD Python on Google. Python is programming the way we indented it. And the basic thing in Python is function. That's how Python looks. How a function in Python looks like. We also like to make functions inside functions, and we like a lot to make our life really complicated, making functions inside function inside another function in order to make something called decorators that can make you fly. We like a lot to iterate, so we have list comprehensions to make lists, dictionary comprehensions, we have set comprehensions, and we have a big package with Cartesian product and iterations and everything you want to iterate. Besides iterations, we like to make generators, because generators are like the Ruby lazy stuff, so quite useful when you don't want to generate a lot of things. You can just tell it that it will be lazy. Of course, we have classes to make objects with their read-only properties and all the stuff. We also have meta-classes with meta-programming to modify how a class is created. We have frameworks, and there is a really nice t-shirt from the web framework I work with. That is Pyramid, that is not built by aliens. But, of course, we have a lot of libraries. I mean, I cannot make a list because even in Ruby there are a lot of things. Web frameworks, scientific libraries for testing, I guess you will find almost everything there. Companies working with Python, Dropbox, Evoline, Discuss, okay, Mozilla everybody knows, but Instagram, and this last days OpenStack from Rackspace. They are building a cloud infrastructure that is with Python. You can learn Python the hard way, or you can learn also in the easy way for your kids, so they should learn how to program from where they are small, so it's a really nice book. And the last thing is that Python is a tool, like Ruby is a tool. Take a look at it. It might be useful in the future. And as always, it's really nice to learn new languages. I'm a Python developer, and I'm helping the Ruby guys and help you all. And if there is any Python developer, just don't worry, no indentations were harmed during this presentation. Thank you very much.
Javier?
Yeah?
You have something on your neck.
Yeah. I'm sure you have seen it. I know that it's not for the Python snake, but it's my small pet in my computer.
Okay, last lightning talk.
Hello.
And go.
Hello, Athens. Okay, so I'm Foka. I build Ruby things for GitHub, but in a previous life, a long time ago, I used to work for a company that did some shady things like selling content through text messages. So you would send us a text message with the name of a song, for example, and we would send you back that song as a ringtone. And apparently people pay a lot of money for this, so it was good business. But the thing is that the people who actually pay money for this are the people who write messages like this, which is not very good for matching the names of their, like what they write on the text message to what we have on our database. So, how did we get this? We used a couple algorithms. They're called double metaphone. This is an algorithm that, given a word, will give you a couple of strings that tell you more or less how that word sounds. So using this, we could compare the names of the songs to what they send us and see if they sound similar. It might be the same word. The other thing we used was Levenstein distance. This is it's an algorithm that will tell you, given two strings, the amount of letters you have to add, remove, or change to go from one string to the other. So this actually helps you find like simple letter transposition and other spelling mistakes. And since yesterday after the NLP talk, people were asking, how can you find spelling mistakes? Hopefully this helps. There's a Ruby gem called Text that has all this and many other algorithms. So in the spirit of Steve's talk, I wrote a very, very irresponsible code that more or less will, given a word, try to find a word that is it might be the same, or it might be just a spelling mistake from that. So what we do is, given a dictionary of words, if we already have that word there, we say, okay, that's fine, the word, we already have it. Otherwise, we'll just try to match the word, and how we do that is basically by comparing the metaphones, and then checking the distance between the words, and if the distance is close enough, then we can assume that the word is just a spelling mistake for something. And if the distance is not close enough, then this is probably a new word, and we add it to the dictionary. With the thing that sold you ringtones, we had our first approach was a very naive check that just did like string comparisons, and that was given about like 25-30% success rate on matching. So we're actually not finding ringtones for most of the cases. Playing with these things, we went to about 70%. And as the algorithm was training itself with new words, we got close to 95%. This, as it's here, it's very, very naive, and it's just to show off the idea. It's not something that you could actually use in production because it's not robust enough. But you can play with these kind of things and get to something very much more confident. So, for example, let's say this word is already in the dictionary, so it's fine. This word sounds the same, and it's it's almost the same word, so it's fine. This is in the dictionary, so it's great. But let's say that we have something like this, but it also looks close, so we can actually find. And like with this kind of thing, you can actually get pretty close to most words in English. And the good thing is that double metaphone works for most Western languages. So you can actually use it for Greek or for Spanish or for Italian, French, whatever. And yeah, I think that's about it. If you want to look at the code, the URL would be bit.ly/ruby-dictionary. That's, again, that gist is not for use at home. It won't survive in production for anything. It's just to show off the idea, but hopefully it helps find correct spelling mistakes in your code. Thank you. Oh, and I have stickers if people want some. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, lightning talks are over, and now it's time for the voting. But before that, we have
a
someone
closing
here.
note. Yes, from a EuRuKo organizer. Yes?
We're almost ready, and if you haven't done so, candidate cities, please join us backstage.
Yes.
Hello? Okay. Actually, I took over the opportunity to chat a little bit in the spirit of the Rails girls, actually. Last year, if you were in Amsterdam, you must have seen the slide. It was actually a spontaneous moment where we said, okay, let's do EuRuKo in Athens next year. And that was actually part of the slides when we asked for the vote. And it was really funny. And then we started organizing EuRuKo 2013. It was like, oh my God. And now it was nice. It was funky. And it was actually awesome. It was more than awesome. So in the beginning, I was thinking, okay, maybe I should talk about this. No. Actually, I would like to say a few words regarding mostly about the planning and the implementation of organizing such an event, not only in this size, but also smaller events or even bigger events. We didn't know anything. We are 8 developers, no business knowledge and expertise, no managerial expertise. So it was hard to do the middle steps, which were from last year to this year. And it's hard because you don't know how to do it. You don't know what you are going to see. You want to do it perfect, so you have to keep re-engineering and over-engineering, and it's hard to actually do it. You're not efficient. So what we wanted from the beginning, other than organize a nice conference, was to make it easier to organize nice conferences after this one. I believe that every city should have every year at least one conference with people from the local community talking. Getting people from other countries, it's not that hard actually, because most people are willing to go for 3 or 4 or 5 days to another city, have fun, meet new people. So it's not that hard to actually bring people here. But you shouldn't have all the barriers between the idea and the implementation of the conference, which are, okay, how do I do this? What about budgets? What about timing? So what we are going to do this year, we have promised it from the beginning. This is some of the repositories that we used to actually organize ourselves. Some of these are private, and it contained information about budget, about planning, about a lot of stuff that couldn't go outside. For example, this is the list of issues that we wanted to track and that should happen or should get rejected until the conference. We want to clean up this a little bit and then let it go live. You may not be able to actually read it and understand it totally, but still we believe it's going to be a good base for the next organizers, or even not a EuRuKo organizer, some crazy people in whatever city wants to organize a conference. How do you do it? What should you do it? And most importantly, what shouldn't you do it? This cannot cover everything. Actually, this is just a sample of the emails that we exchanged, and I believe that after I have deleted, I don't know, 2/3 of the emails. So from last year to yesterday, I must have read, and all the other guys, more than 10,000 mails regarding the conference. So it's not that all the information is on GitHub that we're going to open, but still, we believe it's a first step. It's a first step to actually have more people getting engaged. Having events like this help you build a community. You meet new people. You have the opportunity to listen to other ways of thinking. Since you gain some attention from all over the world, you listen to some stuff you haven't thought about. Some are wrong, and you just ignore them. Some are right, and at least they change the way you think. And most importantly, we want more of this. So it should be easy to happen. It should be painful, painless, I want to say, to organize such thing. And we want to help everyone that's have the spirit and wants to organize such an event, to help them do it easily and not having to invest a lot of time on it. And we hope that the next organizers are going to do also a step forward, take as much as they can from us and build on top of that, make it even more concrete. I don't know, build a wiki, do diagrams, I don't know, but don't just start again from point 0. Start from point 1, and then someone can catch up from there and take it to point 2. That's it. Thank you very much.
Ωραία, να ξεκινήσουμε. Okay. Hi everyone, again. Yeah, at least I was hoping for a warm welcome, but the warmest welcome of everyone in this conference will be in, I don't know, about 30 seconds. He takes much more time than me to get ready, but believe me, the result will really, really be rewarding. These guys are already laughing because they have kind have a clue of what's going on. Anyway, for the voting, we decided to do it in ancient Greek style. We decided to take you a little back in time. The candidate teams that wish to host EuRuKo next year are here to present their cities, their candidacies, and they're also going to do it our way. They'll be wearing these cool costumes. Panos, he takes so much time to get ready, but you will really like
Coming!
him. Come on!
Coming! Here I go! Yeah! Look, hey? Huh? Okay. What did you expect? It takes ages to dress like that. And it's only a dress and some sandals. So now I know why women take so long to dress.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the support. You know?
Okay, yes, of course. Always.
Okay, so should we call our speakers? Or should we, do a catwalk up and down? Come on, let's do the catwalk.
Let's do what?
The catwalk, Pasarela.
Like that? Okay.
Of course.
Yeah? I got it. It's easy though. You can also fall, but it's okay. So.
Okay, I can't breathe anymore.
I'm gonna read because I don't know the words.
Please,
You changed it last
let's
time.
ask Kiev to come and present for us.
Yeah. Kiev?
He shouldn't take so long to get ready. Kiev? Or maybe Zurich? Oh, Kiev.
Well, instead of Kiev, we have Vasilis.
And not dressed. Come on, you're spoiling it. We're taking them back in time,
Kiev.
Kiev, come on.
There we go. Come on.
Good
And
evening,
we have
everyone.
another Asian.
Hi.
Better looking also.
So, good evening, everybody. This is our. My name is Vlad, and this is our small team, Natalie and Sergey the White. He just got wiser today. So, on behalf of our Ukrainian Ruby community, we are proud to invite you to Kiev for the next EuRuKo. First thing is that actually this is the first time that Ukraine actually applies for an international conference. And I think it will be a great experience for every one of you.
Yes, and I want to tell you that Ukraine is a very open country, and there is no need in visa for most of the people sitting here. But if you need it, we'll help you with that.
Modern version of Greek.
Well, we suggest that for most of you it might be interesting to get to know more about our different culture and to meet our community.
So this is like the regular picture you see in a subway, Drupal guys.
Oh, yeah. And you probably heard about borscht, the most well-known dish. I want to tell you that Ukrainian food is just tasty, and Ukrainian cuisine is very old, so you're welcome to taste that.
There is actually like a rumor that Ukrainians eat borscht and drink it with vodka, but it's not always the case. So. It's also
How cool is that?
So we promise you some wonderful experience in Kiev and suburbs. And well, this will be a great honor for us to host next EuRuKo if you choose us. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you, Kiev.
Well, they actually glow in the dark, you know.
Okay, and for our second city, we have Zurich. Can we change the presentations? This modern thing, yeah, doesn't really go so well with ancient Greece.
Come on, another Asian.
Nice pixels. Okay, good day. First of all, we would like to introduce ourselves. We are Zurich. We don't have a slight chance against Kiev. These guys are so cool. So if at least we get 5 or 10 beans, this would be great. This is the guy who kind of inspired us because he fixed his pitch like 5 minutes before presenting it. 1 hour. We had 4 hours actually to do this pitch. We decided at lunchtime. We slept before, so thank you very much for your inspiration. Really great. And a big up for the Greek organizing team. It's a great event. Thank you.
Indeed.
Oh, my iPhone. Okay. So, this is the atmosphere we are going to create in Zurich. Well, what our part will be, we'll try to get a nice location. We try to organize the best party ever. And of course, we'll have very intelligent people on stage talking to you about their stuff. We don't have Chernobyl next to us. But we have Schweizerhalle. Schweizerhalle is the chemical stuff in Basel. And no, really. They had a nice accident in the 80s. It might help for our pitch. I don't know. And the river Rhine, where the whole shit flew in, you can swim again there. But this is Basel, and we have a nice lake in Zurich actually, and it's piss warm in summer, so you can dip in and you can have fun there. That's it. That's our pitch. We wanted to bribe you with chocolates, but then the guys told me last year, the same thing happened, and you kind of felt manipulated. So we're gonna eat the chocolate on our behalf.
No way, I can get
what? No way.
We won't be manipulated.
Okay, so that's it. Please vote for us.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
We're done? Yeah? Okay.
So, about the voting now.
Yeah, about the voting.
Well, when ancient Greeks had to decide between two different decisions, they voted.
And as a common way of voting, they used pebbles. Voters deposited a pebble inside the appropriate bag to mark their choice.
And the ancient Greek word for pebble is psiphos. That in modern Greek means vote.
What we're going to do today, as you probably have already concluded from our outfits, is reenact an ancient Greek voting to determine the city that will host EuRuKo next year.
So, can we please have some lights on, and each one of you will come here, in front of the stage, will pick up a pebble or a vote, and they will deposit it on the bag of their choice for Kiev or for Zurich. I propose that we do it like clockwise.
Yeah.
With this flow, So let the voting start.
There they are.
Pebbles, please. Psifi. Come on, don't be shy.
Okay.
Please.
Basically, you make a queue, you pick a marble, and then you vote with your marble, and then you sit down. All right? Cool.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna get the.
He's into ancient Greek wrestling, probably. I don't know.
I'm coming back.
Okay, we refreshed and we're back. Please sit down after the voting because we have, to say goodbye to you.
Yeah, just vote and sit down. I mean, you don't have to go.
And of course-
we haven't finished yet. We have to choose a winner.
And of course, don't you want to know where you're going to travel next year? Once you have voted, you can sit down again. We'll be announcing the results right after everyone finishes voting.
We don't beg for votes. No, no, don't come again.
We are halfway through, so be a little more patient. While you're voting, let us remind you that with your lanyards, you still have a discount at where we were yesterday, Agia Sirini Square.
You can go there and have the discount.
We're waiting for you there for a chill-out drink after the conference.
Somebody give a chocolate.
We should do a Saturday hug as well, or a voting hug as well while we're sitting. Special thanks to Aaron Patterson for this tradition. The photo is amazing. You should see it on Twitter.
Okay, we're getting close.
Come on. You know, it's just one round clockwise, not 2 or 3.
That's not fair.
We're not judging. That's not fair. Really, that's not fair.
Oh, I thought this is the cradle of democracy.
It is.
Okay, I think we're finishing, so if someone hasn't voted once, he should hurry. And what we're going to do now is weigh those bags with these very ancient Greek scales.
Yeah.
Okay, last votes. Use them wisely. Oh yeah, that was a nice one. Okay, final vote.
Okay.
Good, we're finished.
Okay, thank you everyone for voting.
Okay.
Now let's see who will be the winner.
Come up.
It's like a contest. Okay.
Oh.
Please give me my...
See my color matching shoes.
Yeah, of course, but mine are better.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Why? I can feel the breeze.
So, who wants to go first? Let me see.
I think.
Okay.
I know who won.
Okay, but just for the...
Look up there.
Just for the protocol, we have to wait it. So I'll start with Zurich.
Can we wait me? I have 2 kilos more than he.
Okay. Here goes nothing.
Let's all sit so it's impartial.
It's 0.
No. It's too heavy.
Yeah, no. I should open it first.
It's too modern for him. He can use
Now
it.
it's ready.
Okay.
Yep.
79 grams?
75.
79, I can say. No.
7 kilos, maybe?
9.
Okay.
85.
Next one.
This is your... No. It's your...
Okay. Oh, come on. No, 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 no. No. No picking.
Come on. Be serious.
95.
So, yeah, the winner city, Kiev.
You can take your marbles if you want, so...
You know, good luck, come up.
And don't lose your marbles.
Good luck for this year, and
good
we
luck.
are going to do the... Oh, no, wait, they have the gifts first, wait.
Yay! And they got the gong. Wait, whoa, wait. You got the gong. There you are.
Yeah, you're responsible for this now. So
Yeah.
good luck and
Don't
see
break
you
it, I
at
need it.
Kiev. Bring it.
Come on, you can do much.
You can.
There you go.
Okay.
So where we are? I mean,
Thank you very much. It's yours now. You
Okay.
can go backstage. Unless you want to keep the costumes. You can go backstage. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
So, believe it or not, EuRuKo is over.
For this year, and I'm sure the organizing committee doesn't believe it.
It's been an awesome experience for us, and we hope that you had a great time as well. And now we'd like to call first the committee up here on stage.
Come on, guys.
Come on.
Come on. They seem
1,
happy.
2, 3,
No,
4,
no.
5, 6. Wait, we're missing someone. 1, 2, 3, 4,
President.
5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah.
Yay!
Thank you. Thank you very much for organizing everything. Thank you for giving us this experience.
Yay! Come on, guys. Get your hands. Do something like that. Yeah.
And
Come on.
Come on.
Come on. Yay!
Boom. But we should not forget the rest of the team. The rest of the team that made everything possible. So, volunteers and the rest of everyone who worked for that.
Get up.
Please, come on.
Everyone. Okay. That away. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming. See you next year.